Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we're going to see aggressive investment strategy. So we already seen what is aggressive strategies. So which means it is refers to a style of portfolio management that attempts to maximize returns by taking the relatively higher degree of risk. So by achieving higher than average returns, this is typically emphasize the capital appreciation because as the primary investment objectives. It may be in a income or a safety of principal amount. Okay, so by this the next one is understanding aggressive investment strategy. How we need to understand. So by this we have to know aggressive investment strategy depends on a relative weight of high reward, which is high risk asset classes, okay, such as equities and commodities within the portfolio. So for example, portfolio A, so which has an asset allocation of 75% equity. So in this the 15% fixed income and 10% commodity would be considered as a quite aggressive. So because 80% of the portfolio is weighted the equity and commodities, so however it would still be less aggressive than the portfolio B, so which has an asset allocation 85% equities and 15% commodities. So in this, even within the equity component of an aggressive portfolio, the composition of stocks can have significant bearing on its risk profile. Okay, for instance, if the equity component only consists of blue chip stock, so it would be considered less risky than if the portfolio only held small capitalization stocks. So if this is the case is in the earlier example, so this portfolio B could arguably be considered less aggressive than portfolio A. So even though it has a 100% of its weight aggressive assets. The next one is aggressive investment strategy. So an active management. So by this aggressive strategy needs more active management than a conservative. So buy and hold strategy. So this strategy would be likely to be much more volatile, okay, and could require frequent adjustments depending on market conditions. More rebalancing would also be requiring a portfolio allocations back to their target levels. Okay, this volatility of the assets could lead allocations to deviate significantly from their original weights. This extra works also derives higher fees, as a portfolio manager may require more staff to manage all such positions. So by this, the recent years have been significantly pushed back against the active investing strategies. So excuse me, so many investors have pulled out assets out the I already said, protecting from the risk. Okay, less risk protecting. Okay, so for example, due to those managers' unperformance, so instead some of have chooses to place their money, okay, with the passive managers. So these managers adhere to investing styles that often employ managing index funds for strategic rotations. So in this case, portfolio often mirror a market index, so such as S&P 500. Okay. The next one is aggressive marketing. So which refers to a market with a high trading volume which involves certain programs to expand into new markets. This is a 4 different aggressive marketing techniques: and analyzer, defender, prospector, reactive. Okay, it sounds a bit vague, but it will explain them concisely. Okay, the first one is analyzer. So how will they analyze? The market strategy refers to being careful and examining the market before taking any risk. So I would say it's playing safe, but this strategy is more focused on stability and certainty. Next one is defender marketing strategy, so which means is focused on a finding and basically holding on to a market that is stable. So this approach is not really into finding new opportunities, but rather sticks to the safe options if possible. Third one, prospector marketing, so which is completely focused on new markets and opportunities. Okay, unlike the defender strategy, this strategy does not focus on analyzing, examining the market because it's all about finding new ones, so not necessarily ensuring that they are safe, potentially stable. So I think it is the most aggressive method because it is basically about just talking risk. Okay, just taking the risk with no previous research on the market. Then third one is reactive marketing. So which means it is completely opposite to the prospector. Because a prospector I already saw, it is completely focused on new markets. Okay, it is new markets to the opportunities. And reactive marketing means it is opposite to prospectors, to see the passive, because they have no strategy. So the only time when they actually respond to something is when they are pressured by the environment. Otherwise it is no plan, focus, or anytime real strategy. The next one is aggressive investment strategy. Okay, basically this strategy means it emphasizes substantially higher portfolio. So this allocation of high return equity over the debt in order to generate high returns through exposure to high risk. So then the next one, how does aggressive investment strategy works? How does it will work? So by this, it weights a portfolio composition, okay, primarily on a combination of moderate to high growth stock and much smaller portions so of bonds and commercial papers. So this agreement involved a higher than average level of risk, so and price volatility, so which investors accept prior to implementation. Often investors will include options as a part of portfolio in an effort to reduce some of the risk associated with this strategy. And next one is, why does aggressive investment strategy matters? So why it matters means, it is an aggressive investment strategy should be carefully considered by the investors prior to the implementation. So unless investors believe they can afford possibly significant losses and very confident in their assessment of the marketing trends. So by this marketing trends, the aggressive investment strategy is matters. Okay, in this mainly this is very confident in their assessment of the marketing trends. So this is particularly by the more risk avenue or ours. Okay, it is a more risk. And the next one is defense strategies. So defense, okay, defense strategy mainly known as, it is a type of military planning doctrine. Okay, because it is a set of defense and or compact activities used for the purpose of resisting, repelling, daring and strategic offensive, which conducted as either a theoretical or as airspace invasion or attack. Okay, as part of cyber space attack in the cyber welfare. So in this level offensive in the interrupt shipping land traffic as a format economic welfare. So mainly this defensive strategy means it is used by the companies in a market. Okay, used by companies in a market leadership position to defend their market share from attacks. Definition, okay, as a marketing tool that helps companies to retain values, okay, retain values customers that can be taken away by the competitors. So this competitors can be defined as other firms that are located in the same market category to sell their similar products in the same segment of the people. So next one, approaches and understanding. So how the defense strategies are approaches. So mainly this defense strategy approaches is two approaches to defense strategy in the strategic management. The first approach is aimed at blocking competitors who are attempting to take over part of the business market share. So by cutting the price of the product, adding incentives or discounts, okay, to encourage customers to buy from you, or increasing your advertising or marketing campaigns, or the best common ways of going about this. Okay, this second approach is more passive, because here you announce new product innovations, plan a company expansions by opening a new chain or a reconnect with old customers to encourage them to buy from you. So this is still a method to prevent a competition from taking away your customers and earning. So but it is done in a more relaxed and less aggressive manner. So whereas the fast approach is active and direct. Okay, mainly to understanding how we understand the defense strategies. So mainly this known as management tools that can be used to fend off an attack, okay, from a political competitors. So this, think of it as a battle god. You have to protect your share of the market in order to keep your customers happy and your profit stable. So defending your business strategically is about knowing the market you are the best equipped to operate in, and about knowing when to widen your appeal to enter into a new markets. So this contrasts to offensive strategies, so which are aimed to attack your market competitions. These defensive strategies are about holding on to what you have and about using your competitive advantage to keep competitors at bay. Okay, by this is the approaches and understanding the defense strategies. Next one, we're going to see advantages and disadvantages. So what are the advantages in a defensive strategy? Okay, so by employing a defensive strategy in a business can have perceived the real benefits. So first, you are increasing your market and advertising, which can be an effective way of getting both old and new customers through the doors. Okay, secondly, defensive strategies. In this, and these strategies are typically less risk. Okay, this is than offensive strategies. So you have the option to take a passive measures to ensure your share of the market, and you don't have to necessarily feel the threatened at in every turn. So the third benefit of a defensive strategy is that you are working to enhance the value of the products or services by emphasizing the benefits of your brand. Okay, you are simultaneously devaluing the value of your competitors. So this can be an effective long term strategy in securing the niche market for your products and services. And we're going to see the disadvantages. Okay, disadvantages of the defensive strategy. So by this, how the disadvantages. So the to defense strategy comes when a business does not understand its target market, because all products and services should be aimed at a particular demographic of the broader marketplace. So if you sell the children's bicycle, for instance, aim your marketing at a demographic most likely to buy from you. So probably your young and middle-aged adults and children. So it won't make sense to target your children's bicycle to older adults. So without the children, to the teenager who are no longer interested in riding children-sized bikes. So the key is to know your share of the market and work hard to hold on to the piece of the pie. So along with this major disadvantage comes the risk that you may rest in your laurels when it comes to innovation and product development. So this is successful business also keep their eyes open for opportunities to engage in new markets, to sell cutting edge products, and you reach new customers. Thus any defensive strategy you employ should be balanced with a long term strategy for growing your business. Okay, next we're gonna see position defense. So how the position defense? So I already said that there are 6 common defensive strategy. Under this, the common defensive strategy, the first one is a position defense. By this, which involves occupying the most desirable market space in the minds of customers. So making the brand almost like a wheel detergent bar. Okay, same like that. So the position defense is the simplest defensive strategy. It simply involves trying to hold your current position in the market. So so to do this, you simply continue to invest in your current markets and attempts to build your brand name and customers loyalty. So the problem with this strategy is that it can make you a target from new entrants. So to the markets, okay. And the next one is mobile defense. So which means this defense involves making constant change to your business so that it is difficult for competitors to compete with you. So this can involve introducing new products, entering new markets, or simply making changes to existing products. So this constant moving between strategies requires a flexible business that can adjust to change. So this defense that leader stretches a domain over the new territories, so that can serve as a future centers for defense and offense through the market broadening and market diversification. So this broadening involves shifting focus from the current product to underlying the generic need. So this is the example of petroleum company gets involved in a oil, coal, nuclear. Okay, so market diversification involves shifting into the unrelated industries. Okay, the next one is flanking defense. So flanking means when a firm uses a flanking, it defends its market share by diversifying into new markets and its segments. So the idea behind the strategy is that if you lose your market share in the existing market, you can make up for it in these new markets. So the danger of the flanking defense is that it can stretch your resources thin and pull attention away from your main focus. So although this position defense is important, because the market leader should also erect the outpost to protect the weak and front, or possibly serve as an invasion based counterattack. So for the example, even at the ground stage, kept the high price of per minute call invested in the additional amount of extensive. The next one is counter offensive defense. So which means this counter offensive defense is a uh, retaliatory strategy. So when a competitor attacks your business, you strike back with your own attack. With instance, if you operate a bakery that only produce gluten-free products, means a competitor who produce a regular bread also begin producing gluten-free products. So you could hit back at it by introducing regular bread. So when attacked, most market leaders will respond with the counterattacks. So these attacks can take many forms. In this counter-offensive, the leader can meet the attacker friendly and hit its plan, the launch of Prince movement. Okay, so this effective counter-attack is to invade the counter-attacker's main territory. So that will have to pull back the defend the territory. The next one, contraction defense. Okay, contractions. So this is the least desirable defense because it involves a retreating from markets. So if you don't believe you can successfully defend those markets, however, then it can be the best option. So this allows you to redeploy your resources into other areas. So for example, imagine that you are manufacturer of two products, okay, liquid soap and bar soap. If you find you can no longer compete in the bar soap market, then you can make it a sense of a retreatment of for a market and focus on a liquid source. The next one is preemptive defense. Okay, preemptive. So which means it is an attack before the enemy starts its offense. So a company can launch a preemptive defense by several ways. So it can wage the action cross the market hit by one competitor here. So another there and keep everyone off a balance. So it can try to achieve grand market environments. So it is a difficult for a business to survive without the competitive strategy in a place. So this is particularly the case if the company is contenting the markets overflowing with alternatives for consumers. And next which we're gonna see is competitive strategy. So by this competitive strategy, we already seen the competitive means competition. Okay, one sec. So mainly this competitive strategy means it is a long term action plan, so which is planned for a long term action plan. So mainly it is a company which is directed again a competitive advantage, okay, over its rivals, and after evaluating their strength, weakness, opportunities, threats in the industry, and compare to it with your own. Okay, so according to the Professor Harvard, he said that are implemented by a business globally. So it is necessary for business to understand the core principle of this concept, so that will help them to make a well informed business decisions in the course of actions. The next for a definition for competitive strategies means this is competitive strategies a long term, we already know. So the firms also gain competitive advantage over its rivals in the industry. So this strategy is focused on achieve above the average position and generate the superior ROI. ROI means return on investment. So what we have invested is we want the return. Okay, so this strategy is very important when firms having a competitive marketplace and several similar products available for consumers. Okay, so mainly classification according to the Michael Porter. So we'll see the one by one. So according to the Michael Porter, the first one is differentiation. So differentiation leadership strategy. So which means it identified attribute of a product which are unique, okay, from the competitors in the industry. It is a driving factors in the differentiation. So when a product is able to differentiate itself from other similar products or services in the market through superior brand quality and the value added features, it will be able to charge premium prices to cover the high cost. Okay, there are few business examples so who successfully differentiated their brands. Okay, the next one is cost focus. So cost focus mainly known as, this is the strategy of quite resemblance of the cost leadership, the same thing like the cost leadership. So the major difference is that cost focus strategy business target a particular segments within the market. So the segment is offered at a low price of a products or services. So this type of strategy is very useful to satisfy your consumers, increase brand awareness. So mainly, okay, so in this strategy the beverage companies manufacturing a mineral water means can target the market like a Dubai where people need and use only mineral water for drinking, so can be sold at a lower than competitors. So the next one is differentiation focus, the same as repeated I think so. No, it is a differentiation. The first one is differentiation leadership, okay, then final differentiation focus, though this is similar to the cost focus. Okay, the differentiation focus similarly particular segments within the market instead of the offering lower prices to the consumers. The firms differentiate itself from its competitors, so this strategy offers unique the features, attributes, appeal. So for example, resorts is a company and a company having a several resorts and caters, okay, only couple having no children, so and offer peaceful environment without any children disruptions. So this is the competitive strategies, four classifications. And the next one is classification according to the Michael Tracy and Fred Weshma. Okay, so under this, one, two, three. Okay, the first one is operational excellence. So mainly the classification according to Michael Tracy and Fred Westma have authors of Discipline of Market Leaders in the book of 1995, okay, which tells the people what it takes to become a market leader and stay one. So in this book, their authors describe three value disciplines in a generic competitive strategies. So which is namely operational excellence, product leadership, and customer intimacy. The first one, operation excellence, means it is the objective of the strategy is to achieve cost leadership. So this strategy focus on automating automatic work procedures and manufacturing processes and so on streamline operations or bring down costs. So this approach that is adopted by such well-known names, okay, means IKEA, McDonald's, South, okay, in this strategy are transaction oriented and high volume production, so that are hardly requires much differentiations. So this is the thing. And then next one is product leadership, so which means it is the intention behind the strategy is to develop culture and continuously introduces to superior goods to the markets. So this product leaders are aware that brilliant in creativity. So in this the teamwork and problem solving crucial is there to their successes. So by this these leaders, okay, these leaders are accomplished first class market. So this prices owning the experience they develop for their customers. So in this they included among the corporate discipline they cultivate the research portfolio management, product management, talent management, teamwork and marketing. So by this the product leaders would towards leveraging their expertise across the organizational and geographical boundaries. So By achieving expertise in this discipline, such as knowledge management collaborations. Okay, so by this Apple, BMW, this investment, many other companies in the consumer electronics. So this automotive, fund management and paramedical industries adopt a product leadership strategy. So mainly the classification according to the Michael Tresiasin 3. The first is operational, second is product leadership, third one customer intimacy. And in according to the Michael Porter, there are four differentiation: cost focus, cost differentiation. Okay, cost leadership, cost focus; differentiation leadership, differentiation focus. The same thing. The first one can change that to differentiation leadership, right? So by this class is over. We'll meet on next class. Thank you.